The implication of what you're saying is, would you have been happy then to have allowed Hamas to simply stay in power? Would you be happy now if they wanted to stay in power?
Listen, I think from an Israeli point of view, you don't want Hamas in power. Although I will note to you that Benjamin Netanyahu was perfectly happy to have Hamas in power.
I agree, and I don't think
October 7th.
I agree, and to be clear,
but I understand why he doesn't want it in power now.
Yeah.
I understand that, but he talks about defeating Hamas in Gaza. And he's not defeated Hamas in Gaza. He's not going to defeat Hamas. And he has not defeated Hezbollah in Lebanon. And he is not going to defeat them no matter what he does in the future. From Hamas's point of view, this makes perfect sense because the Palestinians are basically enclosed in a giant open-air prison. And what they're trying to do is, in effect, break out of that open-air prison. And one of the ways they do that is through terrorist attacks at Israel. And this, of course, is what happened on October 7th. It's not like October 7th happened in a vacuum. It's not like the Palestinians in Gaza were a bunch of Nazis who were just simply interested in crossing the border into Israel and murdering large numbers of Jews. The Palestinians were basically prisoners in this giant open-air prison. And what they were trying to do was get out of that situation, and one can hardly blame them. Well, the truth is you wouldn't have Hamas and you wouldn't have a problem if there was no occupation. The taproot of the problem here is what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians. Again, the Israelis are creating a greater Israel, which includes the West Bank and Gaza. And in the process of creating that greater Israel, they have built an apartheid state. And you should expect the Palestinians who live in that apartheid state to resist mightily. And that's exactly what's happening. And unless there's some self-determination for the Palestinians, you're going to have more and more uprisings in the future. You want to remember what happened on October 7th was not the first instance of the Palestinians rising up. There was the first intifada in the late 1980s. There was the second intifada in 2000, and there'll be more intifadas, more October 7ths in the future, in large part because how the Israelis treat the Palestinians.